What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, this beautiful little Plymouth Cuda. I can't really say much about it. It was a mod on the Steam Workshop. I've had it for months, pretty much since the game's release or very, very early on. I can't tell you who made it. It's not on the workshop anymore. It has been removed. I just still have it in my game and never actually got around to building it. So today we are going to build this one. You can see it is in awful condition. I did get it from the auction house where we did get a little bit ripped off, but nothing too special. 5,353 I paid and could sell it for 4,360, sorry. Losing 993, but we won't be doing that. We are going to increase the power of this today. It currently has the V8 2-carb overhead valve engine in it. We may swap it out to the supercharger. I don't know yet. I'm undecided. But it comes with a base 306 horsepower. This will be definitely increasing, whether it's just performance parts on that engine or swapping it out to the supercharged one or something along those lines. But that's about as far as I can go into it. There will be no link in the description below to go and grab this one yourself because I have no idea if you can even get this one anywhere now, which is a shame because it's looking quite cool. But we do need to get this one started. So let's head over to the car wash and get rid of all of this dust. It is looking pretty bad. Here we are then at the car wash. Let's get it cleaned. Let's see the foam lines on this bad boy. See, they're not too far off at all. They're pretty close. I am generally shocked as to why this one was removed. Maybe it was the person's choice. But never mind. Let's get the interior done. That doesn't do anything. Oh, around just there. That's the interior. We'll get the interior cleaned. We'll get it back on the lift and we'll get that engine ripped out. Time to check for that oil pan. It is in there, just about see it underneath all of that cross member. Very rusty, very bad condition, but let's get all that oil drained. Out you come. Hardly any, and it was very black. Very, very black indeed, but we need to get this gearbox and drive shaft out. So let's crack on with this. Lots of rusty bolts straight away. Don't normally come into them so early on. There we go, off you come. Oh, nice clear run at the back there. Easy peasy. Let's get the starter out. One rusty bolt on that one, not too bad. Out you come, and then out with that gearbox. Only one rusty bolt on that as well, so that isn't too bad either. Let's get you out. I'm going to grab that front exhaust section as well while I'm here. Two separate parts, just to be on the safe side. Let's see if we can lift that engine out. Easy peasy, get you on the ground. Let's move you over to the front. And let's see if we can. Out you come. Yes, there we go. Did get everything. That makes my life a little easier. Let's jump in. That brake booster almost blends in with the, whatever you'd call that bit, the firewall. There we go. Couldn't think of words there. So we have got the wishy-washy radiator. Radiator? My God, I tried to take the mick out of myself by calling it the wishy-washy and still forgot the word reservoir. The wishy-washy reservoir, the coolant reservoir. We do have a radiator that does normally have its own cooling in at the top there. Battery, power steering servo, power steering reservoir, brake servo, and the lovely little fuse box there. There's the battery. We got a fuel tank down the back there. Is the fuel pump in it? Yeah, let's grab that out now and see if we can maneuver our way back to the front. There we go. Ideal. It's come away a little bit. Bit of a better angle. Let's check if there's anything missing. Doesn't look like it. It's nice and simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the liquid strain from here, and maybe here, but we will find out. Additional tools, a drain tool. In fact, I'm going to start here just to see. Yes, that does need draining as well as the coolant reservoir, so I'll see you in a bit. That is all the liquids drained. Let's get all of these ripped out. Hopefully I got it all and don't end up costing myself another 50. Nice and simple. That is literally it. This is one of the easiest strip downs I've ever done. No extra parts, bonus parts, anything like that. Lots of fuses in there that we need to get rid of. But let's go and check out the suspension on this beautiful Cuda. We'll take the one front wheel off just to get in underneath and see what's going on, because that normally means everything's complete. So we've got the hubcap, we've got the brakes, we've got the sway bar end link, we've got the inner and outer tie rod, and we've also got the bearing on a single arm at a single shock. Just check nothing's missing. Doesn't look like it. Let's just quickly check the other side. Inner and outer tie rod, sway bar end link. We've got the bearing, and I'm assuming we've got the hubcap because the wheel is on. So let's jump down the back. Let's get this rear wheel off here and see what's going on down here. Out you come, nice and easy. Nice, come on, come on, come on. There we go. It is a drum brake, which is a shame, not my favourite, but it will still do the job nonetheless. We got both of the U-bolts, we've got the plate, we've got the shock. It looks to be pretty complete down here as well. We'll just double check there's nothing missing. All the bushings on that side, and nice. Let's just go over the other end. Bushing, both U-bolts, plate, and the shock. It looks very, very complete. That is what I like to see, a car that is totally complete. So now let's go and strip down that engine. But before I do that, I need to get this one up in the air and get all of this suspension off. That's everything finished on the Cuda. Let's get that battery on charge. On you go. Probably the only thing that's going to be repairable in this whole build, but never mind. Let's jump in here. Oh no, that is the right button. There we go. That is what I need to do. And we need to get that engine all stripped down. Let's just start off at the front. Let's get this fan off. Out you come. And let's see what else we need to do. We just go straight into the belts. Ideal. No extra rollers or anything on this one. Lots of stuff to strip off this front end. Out you come. Let's get them wires off so I can get straight in underneath it. Can I get that clip? I cannot. There we go. There we go. So, yes, a lot of these little bits here. I'm going to get all of this stripped off down to this timing cover here. And I'll get this ignition distributor off as well. Almost struggled to say that. So, I'll see you back in just a minute. There we go. That's that all down. Let's get under this timing cover and see what we've got going on. Surprisingly, no rusty bolts on that part. So, we got... Oh, I missed a timing chain and the cam gear on there, obviously. Along with that camshaft through there, we can grab that one in a little while. Out comes the oil filter. Let's go to the top now and start stripping this down. Let's get the air filter cover off and the air filter out along with the base. And these double carburetors out. Out you come, nice and easy. Let's go. 2 rusty bolts on that one. I got away with the first one with none. 2 on the second. Had to be fair, I suppose. We'll get the intake manifold out here as well. Just a 1 rusty bolt on you. Out you come, let's go. Nice. Let's grab the first engine head cover off. Lots of bolts on this one, but they are nice and small, so it won't take long at all. There we go. 3 of the rusty bolts. Out you come, and out you come. Nice. Then we've got all the individual rocker arms and obviously the valve push rods to go through there and get all of them spark plugs out as well. And obviously these exhaust manifolds. Off you come. 1 and 2 and 3. Yay! So I will get all of these out. I won't make you sit and watch all of that, along with stripping the other side to the same point, and then we'll see where we are in just a little while. There we go, all the spark plugs out, all the push rods and the rocker covers off as well. Let's get this engine head off. A lot of bigger bolts on this one and a lot of rusty bolts on here. Not the greatest experience I was hoping for. Come on, let's crack on. 1 more. Out you come. Can we take that camshaft out now, or does that still have to wait? We can grab that camshaft now. I'll get this other head off. We'll get it rotated. We'll check out the piston layouts, and then we'll go and strip that beautiful body. I'll see you in just a minute. Very quickly then, let's just get this oil pan off. Let's check out the piston layout. We know it by now. It's a V8. 4 at the top, 4 at the bottom, 4 either side, depending on what we want to talk about it. 3 crankshaft bearings, all of the rod craps, and the clutch setup. Get all of this out, we'll get loads of stuff prepared, and then we'll get on to that bodywork. That is everything bought and repaired for the beautiful Plymouth Cuda. Looking fantastic. And we are going to swap that engine. I'm going to swap it to the 6P engine. In my recent build for my bulk cape, I originally picked the 6P engine and swapped it out to the 2-carb overhead valve for aesthetic reasons. And now I'm going to do exactly the same, but in the reverse order. I'm going to swap it back to the 6P, and we're going to make this car look absolutely awesome, hopefully. Fingers crossed, but we need to sort out this body first, so let's start tearing it down. Off with the fender, off with the hood, off with that headlight. Anything else at the front here to do with the bodywork? Doesn't look like it. Down here, up here, is that a window? No, there is a window. Off you come, out you come. What have we got? Are we all just body? We're just body. No bumper, no. Rear window, that looks to be it. That's a bench seat. We need to take that one out, I know that. So out you come. We will just swap that straight out for its new one. Obviously, we've got some matching seats at the front and a steering wheel, but we don't need to think about them right now. Let's just see if we have got everything into this screen. Down to 1% and nothing in there. Ideal, we have got everything. So let's get this frame all sorted out. Let's bring the welder over. Over you go, Mr. Welder. Where are we? What did I spend on this car? 5,000. Is awful condition. I'm going to say 1,200. I got one bang on. Yeah, okay, so it was 1,200 exactly. I was not expecting that. That was pretty awesome. Anyway, that's definitely changed the whole appearance of this Cuda. Not necessarily what I was going for, but it looks incredible. Let's jump into the shop and see what we can do with this Cuda. Probably not a lot, I don't imagine. No, one page of stuff. Doesn't look like there is any swap options, so we're just going to replace like for like and head over to the paint shop. I'll see you back here in a minute when we've got all of this back together. That's everything bought for the Cuda. Let's get it all back in. I'm going to start with the interior, maybe, if I could get it. There we go. So you can see I have swapped a seat out. So we've got the bench cape front at the back. Weird, I don't know. And then I've put the seat leather 3D in there. I think they match a little bit more than the original seats. Just my opinion, but never mind. And the roulette steering wheel. That's the interior done. And now let's... If I could... If I could select the mode, I don't know what's going on there. There we go. So on the hood, we've obviously got the Plymouth Cuda hood. I had to buy all new parts everywhere, and nothing was repairable. So let's just get it all on. Front end. That does look like a bit of a tasty front end, though. Along with the front bumper, we've got some headlights to go in. I haven't bought license plates, so I'm going to have to do that in a minute. But we all know which ones I'm going for now that I've finally created my own. So we'll get them in a bit. Let's just get the rest of this body all back together. Looking fantastic on with the wing mirror. There we go. It's one side done. Just crack on and get the rest of this in. A rear bumper on you go. Tail lights in you go. It's actually looking pretty cool. I do like the look of a Cuda. This doesn't look like a bad mod. Don't understand why it was removed as far as I can tell at the minute. Nothing seems overly bad on it. There's a few little bits, but there always is. But that is all of that together. I do need to sort out these license plates, so I can't really double check if I've got everything because the license plates are on. So I'm going to go sort them out. I'll be back in just a second. There we go. License plates bought. Let's get them in. Obviously, the virtual mechanic plates. And I just went for Cuda written in the middle. Quite like that. Looking pretty sweet. Just get the rear one on and then double check to make sure we have well and truly got everything on there. 100%, 100%, 100%. Fantastic. Let's head over to the paint shop. Sadly, there were no liveries to take a look at today with this lovely Plymouth Cuda, but I have sort of created one nonetheless just by painting the bonnet in a matte black and the mirrors in that matte black. And obviously you've also got the fender, the rear wing, or whatever you want to call that, also in a bit of a black as well. And the colour I've gone for is this sort of matte mustard yellow. That's what I'm going to refer to it as, mustard yellow. It's looking pretty sweet. Quite happy with that. And obviously we got that 6P engine, which already comes in a pretty much yellow anyway. So we're going to swap all of that out to this mustard yellow with some black accents in there. I'm hoping that is going to look insane. Hopefully it will. As regards for the suspension, probably going to black a lot of it out with a few splashes of this mustard yellow. Nothing too overly fancy, no livery to go off of this time. But hopefully that engine should look insane. The suspension should look insane. And this finished build altogether hopefully will look insane. Probably going to go for black rims or maybe a two-tone rim with a black and a yellow or that mustard yellow or something along them lines. Not fully decided on the rims yet. But that's what we're going to do with the engine and suspension, and this is the beautiful body. Let's get it back on the lift, let's get some things painted, and let's start reassembly. That is everything freshly painted. Let's get these shocks reassembled. So I've gone for a matte black on the shock and then that mustard yellow on the spring. Hopefully it looks great. Very dull down here, can't see too much, but it's looking cool. Hopefully they match the colour of the car. We will find out in just a little while. But let's get in. So the front suspension cross member is in that matte black there. As I said, I was going to mostly black a lot of this out and then just a few splashes of that mustard yellow. The lower suspension arm also in that matte black. It does look great. I like doing the underside in black. It sort of adds a nice detail to it. But let's get that shock on and see what that mustard yellow looks like out in the real world rather than on that spring puller. Not too bad. Let's get the end link on. On you go. On you go. Let's go for the brake caliper. This is also meant to be in a mustard yellow. Do they match? They sort of do match. That's pretty close, actually. I'm quite happy with that. That's looking great. And then for the wheel hubcap, just an extra splash of that mustard yellow in there. Just for good measure. Looking pretty cool. But let's step away and see if it matches the body. I'm so happy with that. That matches the body almost perfectly. Looking insane. Can't really see the shocks from here. But let's move on down the back and see what we've got going on down here. So the rear drive axle is in there matte black. I think that was pretty obvious that was going to happen. Let's get all this knuckle housing and stuff on. Get this built up as quickly as we possibly can. In we go. No brake calipers or anything for this one. So it's just uncoloured stuff. On you go. On you go. And then on you go with the brake drum. But let's get the rest of this finished now. So we've got the rear shock in that mustard yellow. It is a bit brighter than everything at the front because of the material it's painted on. But it still looks pretty great. We've got the leaf spring in the black because it looks awesome. It just does look good when it is blacked out. I'm very proud of the blacked out look. It does look pretty awesome. But let's just throw a splash more colour on there because we've got the bottom brackets and the U-bolts both in those mustard yellows. Just for a tiny, tiny splash of extra colour down the back here. Looking pretty sweet. I'm quite pleased with that. It's looking great. The mustard yellow on there. Let's just check that one. Yeah, see, you can see that that's got a bit more shine to it. Although it is that same matte colour, it is a slightly different, bit shinier on that. But these are looking great. Everything's looking cool. Quite happy so far. Let's get the other side on, and then we'll jump to the top end and get that engine bay all sorted before we go and build that lovely 6P engine. There it is then, all finished in that matte black and sort of matte mustard yellow, looking absolutely great with a few splashes of the mustard colouring down the back and a tiny little bit up the front as well. Very happy with that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Does the mustard and black go together? Does it actually work, or am I just being an idiot? Anyway, let's get on and build this suspension bay. So we know we got the radiator, the power steering reservoir, and the coolant reservoir, along with the wishy-washy reservoir in there as well. Got it right. Wrong, but right for a change. I did pick up my battery, so we know that can go straight in. Thank you very much. And I have already put the fuel pump and the fuel tank in, so that's ready to go. That is most of this done already. Let's get the brake servo in. You go. Nice and easy. And then we've just got this fuse box to go, which I just did in a matte black to sort of blend in to the engine bay. Let's just take a look. It is sort of tucked in under there, inside this, whatever that may be. The strut housing, I'm assuming, but never mind. I'll get on and get this all finished, and then we're going to go see what colours I've gone for, or how the colours turned out on that beautiful V8 6P engine. I'll see you over there in just a couple of moments. That is why the 6P is one of my favourite engines. You can't see it from here, but that is painted in that mustard yellow. It looks absolutely fantastic on there. You can't really tell right now, but hopefully when we drop that in the car, you'll see just how close that colour matching is. Absolutely love this engine. One of my favourites, but let's crack on and get some stuff in here. So I've gone for the oil filter in a matte black just to blend it in a bit more. Let's throw in the cam gear, the timing chain. On you go. We've got the ignition coil. Couldn't do much with that, so just left it as it was anyway. The ignition distributor, I have done that one in a black just to black it out. The rotor I didn't do anything with because it gets covered anyway by the cap. The cap is in that mustard yellow, and then the clips are just in a black, just to blend it in a little bit more. Most of the chrome parts are blacked out on this engine, looking pretty great. This timing cover here is in black as well, because this is, I think, don't quote me on this, I think that is the only base yellow part that stayed black throughout, or changed colour to black, should I say. Oh, and the water pump. There we go. I forgot about the water pump, the one right above it. It's just those two pieces that are blacked out that start yellow. Everything else, including these arms, have gone into that lovely mustard yellow. They look great. I'm so happy with this engine as it stands at the moment. Of course, it could all go wrong by the time I stick it in the car. It could be way off, and I could have to go back and repaint the whole lot. Hopefully not, fingers crossed. Power steering pump blacked out, looking fantastic with a tiny splash of red showing there. And then the alternator blacked out with a little splash of red showing, just for like performance parts aesthetic, we'll call it. Looking pretty sweet though, on with these two timing belts, and then we should have the fan. The fan is also blacked out as well, but that was never a yellow part. So a bit of black at the front there, and then a yellow on the block. Let's crack on with the top. Fuel filter on you go. Let's grab both of these engine heads in real quick. Nice and simple ones to install. They just have the side is it 5 bolts? Yeah, 5 bolts down the side of them, looking sweet. Obviously, I have got to get all of them valve push rods in. I will sort that one out in just a minute. We've got the exhaust manifolds on. I did go for the chrome ones instead of the paintable ones that come with the engine, just for more power, baby. We like a bit of power here on this channel. So let's get all of these in, and then I'll get all of them valve push rods in and all of the spark plugs in as well. So I'll see you back here in just a few moments. That's all the push rods and spark plugs in. So we need to get these rocker arms in, both sides. Nice and easy, though. They're not all of the individual ones like I stripped earlier. We have swapped the engine out to the 6P engine, and I do love this engine. It is incredible. So let's get all of these on, and then we should be able to go straight on with the head covers. Nice. Now, normally I probably would have done them in a black, but I decided to keep them all the mustard yellow just to blend it in. But there is a bit of black still to come. Don't worry, we're not finished with this one yet. Both of the engine heads, we got the ignition wires. I did do these in a pearl red just because I thought it matched with these sort of little pokey little bits sticking around there, looking pretty sweet. For the intake manifold, I went with the matte black because it is a black-topped engine, and this looks so good. And I'm actually contemplating changing these exhausts because they're like the only chromed thing on here, but never mind. Not the only thing. All of the carburetors are in chrome, in their performance parts chrome. But they will be a little bit hidden, so we'll see how it looks in a minute. Not quite finished with this one yet. On you go, and in you go. Then we've got the air filter base, matte blacked, obviously. The air filter, just as it is. And then the air filter cover, also matte blacked as well. So we've got that black and mustard yellow theme going on, and it looks so good. I am very, very happy with this engine and looking incredible. Are we going to leave the exhaust manifolds? Yes, I actually quite like them in chrome because then they'll fold into the chrome exhaust. It makes it look like a separate piece. We are going to leave them. That is this engine built. Looking so good. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to grab a couple of pictures and then we'll get it dropped in that beautiful Plymouth Cuda back there. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, then it's time to drop this beautiful 6P engine into the Cuda. Hopefully looking insane. Is there a way that I am missing that we can clean up all this oil? I hate all this oil and dirt and dust everywhere. I wish it was a clean shop. Weird, because I'm not clean in life. I am clean, obviously, but I don't tidy up very often. But let's get this engine dropped in. In you go. Hopefully this looks insane, and hopefully it is matched really well. I'm nervous. Oh, that's looking good. That is looking good. I'm very, very happy with that. That looks absolutely incredible. Yes, definitely. Look at the body matched color. That is looking amazing. I love that engine. Honestly, one of my favorite engines. Could be a bit bigger in there, if I'm being honest. There is a lot of room. We definitely could have increased that a little bit more. But I'll be honest, I haven't bought the correct gearbox for this engine yet, so I need to go buy that. Then we can get the drive shaft and the starter in. So I'll be back in just a second. I'm going to paint it matte black, so don't worry about that. I'll see you in a bit. I'm not going to make you watch it. I'm going to get the wheels done, get all of that stuff in, and then we'll be outside with this car finished. So it won't be too long, and this one will be outside in the sun. Here we are then, all finished with the black mustard, looking absolutely fantastic. Next to the other black and yellow car. Very similar rim style as well. Yellow on the outside, black in the middle, but splash more yellow in the middle of that one. Looking pretty cool. I'm quite happy with this. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. That engine, just so dark inside that engine bay. You can't get any light in there at all, but it looks absolutely insane. I love that engine. It looks incredible. Definitely could be a lot bigger. Bring it up into the hood line. Things like that. That would be awesome. But it's such a cool car. I don't understand why it was removed. I don't know if it was a personal grievance with the person who created it or because it wasn't quite good enough. I haven't necessarily found anything wrong with it. The fuse box, as you can see there, does clip in through that. That's a bit of an issue. Sometimes it's hard to select on the car. But apart from that, everything seems pretty good with it. The license plate stayed with the lettering on. I know that has nothing to do with the car. But yeah, quite pleased with this. Very happy with it. It looks awesome. We'll talk about these rims. They are looking incredible. These are the rims Retro 7Bs. Bs because they've got the paintable parts, and obviously I've done the mustard yellow into the black, and then obviously it's got a little bit more mustard yellow in the center there. The front ones here, these are 18-inch rims. The wheels or the tires are 255 width with a 50 profile, and I've gone for the slick Bs on these with the Dominator logos, looking pretty sweet. At the rears, again, they are 18-inch but much wider. These are 305 width at the back, again with a 50 profile. Still looking pretty sweet, though. I like this. It is looking very good. And just while we got a brief minute, do consider helping me get up to my 250 subscriber goal with a special video coming out when I get there. Going back through the cars that I've kept, the van, the hot rod off-roader, whatever you want to call this beast. A few of the other cars in my parking. In fact, all of the cars I've saved over the course of me making this channel. Want to do that special video, you know, change a few things, maybe go back through a couple of liveries, see if we can update them, improve them, things like that. That's what I'm aiming for, but we need to get to 250 subscribers before I get there. So if you want to help out, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you very much. Now, back into this. Let's jump into this beautiful Cuda and see what that engine sounds like. In we go. I actually feel like one of my ex-girlfriends who used to sit this close to the steering wheel to drive. But anyway, never mind. Let's get this engine started and see what it sounds like. Pretty good grumble there. Quite happy with that. I don't know what that red piece is sticking through there. It's a bit weird, but never mind. Let's give it some gas. Definitely sounding pretty mean at that top end. I'm liking that. But let's get this one over to the dyno and see what power she's got. Here we are then on the dyno with the Plymouth Cuda and its V8 overhead valve 6P engine. 361 base horsepower from this one, but we have put every performance part on it today. So how much have we gained? Not as much as I was hoping. 232 horsepower gained, a gain of 65%. That's pretty good though. Still was expecting a little bit more, bringing our total up to 593. That is quite impressive. But let's take a look at the gearbox tuning setup for today. How much have we squeezed out of this one? This is what I've gone for, 2.1 on the ratio. 83 in first gear using all of it, 4.5 ratio. Up to 606 in top gear with a 0.62 ratio. What will that equate to speed on the track? Let's head over and find out. I'm aiming for around the 350 mark. Here we are then on the track with the beautiful Plymouth Cuda and its 6P engine now with 593 horsepower. What can we get out of it today? Let's go and let's find out. Stretching on up for all of first gear there. Accelerating very strong, really. I wasn't quite expecting this much acceleration. Heading up towards the 300 kilometers an hour. Maybe we'll smash through the 350. Maybe we'll end up 400, 450 even. Let's have a look. There's 350. There was my target. Gone through that. Heading up towards the 400 kilometers an hour. Maybe 450 was a bit of a push, but will we make the 400? Come on, little car, you can do it. That ticks over to 397 kilometers an hour, so that is definitely what I'm going with. 397 from the Plymouth Cuda. That's not bad. So 397 kilometers an hour from the Plymouth Cuda. Not quite into the 400s. Very, very close. Did manage to squeeze itself into the top 50, only just coming in a position 49 with its beautiful, beautiful body. I absolutely love this car. I was going to finish this and remove it from my game, but I do think I might leave this one for a little longer. Quite interested to do a drag build of this and see how it turns out, edit the config, a few things like that. Make it my own variant of this beautiful, beautiful little car. So that could be a lot of fun, but not what we're going to go into today. This one was insane. I did love it. No link in the description below because I have no idea if this is available anywhere. And I wouldn't trust mods from anywhere other than the Steam Workshop. My personal opinion, I know a lot of people don't agree with that. That is just my opinion. All the mods I use are from the Steam Workshop. This was there. Sadly, it is not anymore, but it was definitely a lot of fun to work on. Definitely have enjoyed making the Black Mustard. That is this car's name. It is the Black Mustard. It is pretty awesome, and I love this. It is so cool. But let's jump into some facts and figures about this one and that beautiful engine. It just looks absolutely stunning. I'm so pleased with it. But anyway, back to facts and figures about this one. So, obviously, the first fact is it isn't available anymore, so you can't get that. Second is I bought the car for $5,353 in a very sorry state and lost about $1,000 on it before we even started. Have I managed to make any of that back? I have spent a further $62,482 modifying this car, buying all the parts I needed. I did have to completely rebuy all of this body. I did buy a couple of rims just to make sure they all fit in the right place. And a brand new engine. Had to buy all of that. Couldn't recover anything. I think maybe one rod cap and one crankshaft bearing is all I recovered from the previous engine. Everything else was very bad condition. Most of the suspension was all bought as well. So I spent a little bit on this car. Our total spend is $67,835, which isn't too bad. But can we make a profit from it? Let's jump in and have a look. Here we go. We know we got it from the auction house. It is now all complete, and it now has 593 horsepower from the 6P engine that we swapped it into. A gain of 65%. I'm quite impressed with that. But how much can we sell it for? Can we make a profit? Yes, and quite a big one by the looks of that. Sale price of $134,522. That's pretty good. Take away our $67,835. Leaves us with a profit of $66,687. $66,687. 66687. Could be a bad omen. We should probably sell this car now, and maybe I should remove it from my game file. Don't know about that. Probably going to keep it because it was quite fun to work on, but we're definitely selling this one. Off you go. Thank you. You're a lot of fun. I don't know who to thank because I don't know who made it. But anyway, let's jump in and see what we've got next. We are finally getting on to the Chevrolet Luminaire. Is that it? Chevrolet Lumina stock car. The Hendrick Motorsports is the one we have at the moment. I'm assuming that's to do with the livery that's on it. I'll be honest, I know absolutely nothing about NASCAR or stock car or anything like that. Yeah, not my strong point, but we're going to do this one. We're going to make it look awesome. This one here is modded in by Pain. It is available on the Steam Workshop, so there will be a link for this one in this episode. We did get this one from the barn. It is the only place you can find this model, according to this screen here. But let's see if we got a good deal. No, we did not. 16,481 is what I paid for it, and I could sell it for 13,371, losing 3,110. But we won't be doing that anyway. We are going to be sorting this one right out, getting it shiny and new, and putting all of the power in it. Currently comes with a V8 one-carb overhead valve, one of the smaller of the V8 engines, but it's still got a factory 593 horsepower. We are probably going to be swapping that, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys again. Let me know in the comments below which of these 5 engines you want to see in our Chevrolet stock car, Lumina, whatever it's called. So we've got the V8 one-carb overhead valve that's currently in it, a V8 double overhead valve, double overhead cam AXK engine, the V8 double overhead cam supercharged engine, the V8 two-carb overhead valve engine, or the V8 two-carb overhead valve supercharged engine. Let me know in the comment below which engine you would like to see in this beautiful stock car for the next episode. I'm looking forward to hearing from you and what you might have to say, but we do have to save this for next time. Do come and join us on Discord, say hello, take part in our competition. I did win, and there is a little tiny little bit of controversy in that, because I am the competition, or one of the competition coordinators, and someone maybe feels a little bit unfair that I won it, even though it is completely voted by everyone in the Discord channel. So I don't know what we're going to do from here on forward. As it stands at the moment, I'm going to carry it on as it is, but there may be a few changes to come in the future. We shall see. Obviously, I've got to speak to Pi about it, see what he thinks, and where we go from there. But do come and join us on Discord anyway. Say hi. You can 100% take part in the competition. There'll be no controversy if you win it at all. So get involved. Come and take part. There are no prizes. You just get to go on my pin board and get announced on Discord in the Hall of Fame channel. It does have its own channel, so it is pretty cool, but nothing overly special. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Do remember to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, leave me a comment, 1, telling me which engine you want, and 2, what you think of the previous build, and any suggestions for the future, and hit that notifications bell. Something about a YouTube algorithm absolutely loves it. I have no idea what. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'll be building this car on Sundays to get your comments in before then. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.